Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at Noon.
Next at noon, in a stunning blow, 4 Republicans agree to back a Democratic push to extend Obamacare subsidies. Border Patrol boss Greg Bovino is leading a new round of immigration raids in Chicago. And a white Christmas doesn't look likely, but there could be some warmer temperatures headed our way. Caitlin's going to have the forecast. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sylvia Perez. We begin with developing news. 4 Republicans are breaking with House Speaker Mike Johnson, forcing a vote on extending health care subsidies. The pandemic-era subsidies will expire at the end of the year. This bill would extend those subsidies for 3 more years. Now, if the bill passes, it would still need to be approved by the Senate. In the meantime, Illinois residents will now have more time to sign up for health insurance. State officials have extended the deadline to December 31st to enroll. Coverage will begin January 1st. If you want more information, you can visit getcoveredillinois.gov. Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino is back in Chicago today, leading a new round of immigration raids. Roseanne has the latest.
Residents in Little Village are angry and turned out to protest today against what they call border agent takedowns of people who may or may not be illegal. They say 3 people were detained just yesterday.
That's an illegal arrest. You have no warrants.
Yesterday morning, agents in tactical gear were spotted at 35th and Ridgeway, Greg Bovino among them. A man was led away. That scene also playing out at 26th and Kedvale, where this man was nabbed. We're told 200 agents are back on the street. That had protesters out on 26th Street today.
The issue is they're just mistreating people. They're treating them like the worst criminals in the world. And all they did is try to make a better life for themselves.
Baltazar Enriquez of the Little Village Community Council says the detainees are being held at the Broadview ICE facility and have been told they'll be sent to Texas. He added that his network of supporters will block Bovino at every turn.
He's a little sneaky guy. He's the Grinch that wants to steal Christmas. And we hope that we could fight that with our patrol team. So if 200 of his agents are out, there's going to be 2,000 of us out here in Little Village.
Enriquez says lawyers are on the case right now fighting what he called these illegal arrests. In Little Village, Roseanne Tejas, Fox 32, Chicago.
Let's take a live look outside. Looking pretty nice out there. A little sunshine, a little cloud cover. What's the temperature going to be like today? And then on beyond that. Caitlin has the answer for us. Caitlin, what can you tell us?
Well, the 40s are back today, so the melting is going to continue today, and it's going to be dry, but we do have the chance for wet weather as soon as early tomorrow, even tonight, a little bit of rain. So let's get into it. First of all, satellite and radar. You can kind of see, if you squint your eyes past the clouds, the snow that is still on the ground out there. So we have more melting to go. But the temperatures, they feel good. Right now, we're at 40 degrees at the lakefront and at Midway. Chicago Heights, Merrillville, Joliet at 40. 34 degrees now in DeKalb, 36 at Woodstock, and 37 in Waukegan. These temperatures climbing a couple degrees today. I expect to be right around 42 or 43. By 5 p.m., partly cloudy and 36. Temperature-wise tomorrow, fantastic, 48. But that's going to be early in the day. So we're going to start off the day with scattered wet weather in the form of rain. Then it's going to dry out, most of that happening before noon. And then in the evening on Thursday, temperatures are going to be dropping. Really cold fronts moving through. You're going to feel the difference as we drop down to the teens Thursday night. But with that, we could see a little bit of light snow Thursday evening. So we're starting off Thursday with rain, ending with a little bit of snow. We don't expect accumulation, perhaps up to a dusting, before drier air returns and very cold temperatures on Friday at 27. A full check of your forecast, including our weekend outlook, is ahead.
Thank you, Caitlin. We have breaking news to tell you about a Chicago police pursuit happening on the southwest side, Skyfox over 69th and Kedville, that location. And we're told one person is now in custody, but officers are still searching for one other suspect. We'll keep you updated on this breaking story as we get more information into our newsroom. And Chicago police are investigating a possible hit-and-run crash that left a woman seriously injured. It happened in West Garfield Park at about 1:30 a.m. Police say the 40-year-old victim was found in the middle of 5th Avenue near Harrison in Holman Square. She was taken to Mount Sinai in critical condition. A jury has found the Chicago police officers in the Red Line shooting case not liable. Ariel Roman was shot by former officer Malvina Bogard during a struggle at Grand Station in 2020. Criminal charges were later brought against her. She was acquitted of aggravated battery and misconduct. COPA later found the shooting violated department policy and was unjustified. No damages were awarded to Roman. Happening right now, Nick Reiner, the son and accused of killing his parents, legendary Hollywood director Rob Reiner and wife Michelle, is now in court. The couple found dead in their Brentwood home on Sunday by their daughter. Nick Reiner is currently being held without bail. He has hired high-profile attorney Alan Jackson to defend him, who is best known for representing Harvey Weinstein and Karen Reed. President Trump will be delivering an Oval Office address tonight as the administration is hoping to end the year on firmer footing. Doug Luzader has more from Washington.
The White House is not divulging much about this address tonight, but we expect a whole range of topics from the economy to foreign policy.
Through a sea of raised phones, President Trump emerged last night at the White House for a Hanukkah celebration.
I guess you've mostly been here, but you like it a lot better with Trump than you like it with Biden.
And that may be Trump's essential message tonight. The country is better with him than his predecessor.
I know you guys will all be tuning in.
The White House won't say much, only that the president will look back on his first year and ahead toward the next.
All that he's done to bring our country back to greatness and all he continues to plan to do to continue delivering for the American people over the next 3 years.
But look for a heavy focus on the economy and perhaps what to do about expiring Obamacare subsidies.
It's not the same as it was before. Once it expires, the toothpaste is out of the tube.
It's an issue Democrats have been hitting hard. And on foreign policy, President Trump just announced a new blockade on Venezuelan oil following renewed attacks on suspected drug boats.
Of course, we're not going to release a top secret full unedited video of that to the general public.
War Secretary Pete Hegseth says he won't fully release a video of a September attack that included a follow-on strike on survivors. But in a striking interview with Vanity Fair, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles suggested this was all part of a pressure campaign against Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The president, she said, wants to keep on blowing boats up until Maduro cries uncle.
And that interview from Susie Wiles has created all kinds of waves around here, but she is a powerful force in this administration, and by all indications, the president continues to support her. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
And you will be able to watch the president's address live on Fox 32 Chicago and on our Fox Local app. That's going to begin at 8 p.m. tonight. J.P. Morgan Chase is opening a new flagship branch on Michigan Avenue. Take a look. Officials say the two-story space will include a state-of-the-art branch and Chicago's first ever financial center on the second floor. This building is expected to open in the fall. The Greater Chicago Food Depository is celebrating a huge donation today. Bank of America presented a $100,000 check to that organization. The money will help the food bank continue combating hunger in local communities. And this is all part of the bank's new initiative to help out communities in need. More to come on Fox 32 News at noon. A 24-year-old is now facing charges in connection with the deadly shooting in Australia. We're going to tell you what those charges are. President Trump declaring a total blockade around Venezuela, the latest on the escalating tensions in the Caribbean. Welcome back. It's 12:11. A 24-year-old man is facing 59 charges, including 15 counts of murder in the Sydney's Bondi Beach massacre. Officials say the suspect and his father shot and killed 15 people and wounded dozens of others during a Hanukkah celebration last Sunday. Investigators say evidence suggests that attack was inspired by ISIS, but officials have yet to comment and question the actual suspect.
We're currently awaiting his medical condition to be appropriate for us to do that. It's important that he has appropriate cognitive ability at the time.
The 24-year-old suspect remains hospitalized under heavy guard. The funerals for the victims also have heavy security for fear of another attack. 4 days after a deadly mass shooting at Brown University left 2 students dead, authorities are still trying to identify a shooter and a motive. This comes as questions remain about a lack of security cameras on campus. Brian Yennis has the latest.
Investigators are looking to the public for help identifying a person of interest in the deadly Brown University shooting. Providence police releasing new enhanced video showing the individual in the area as early as 10:30 a.m. the morning of the attack. At some points, he's seen wearing a satchel. Police think the man's gait is a big clue.
He's engaging in that pre-attack surveillance, that right before, making sure it's a soft target, making sure there's no law enforcement in sight. And that gait is very, very distinct. And I believe that somebody's going to look at that and possibly recognize.
The FBI also sharing a video timeline of the person of interest path. He's seen walking past Brown's Engineering and Physics building at 2:53 in the afternoon and then walking away an hour later just after the shooting.
Perhaps he did some earlier canvassing. It could have been days or weeks ahead of time.
The map of the scene shows the crime happened on the edge of campus, giving the shooter a clear path to avoid most of the campus surveillance cameras. Investigators are working through 200 actionable tips, but some students say the lack of answers is concerning.
We have been confused as to why we couldn't clearly see the gunman's face. Some of the video is grainy, some of the pictures look clearer.
The state's attorney general says so far investigators have not determined a motive. In Providence, Rhode Island, Brian Yennis, Fox 32 Chicago.
President Trump is now turning to economic warfare in his showdown with Venezuela, targeting its oil industry. The president is ordering a blockade of all sanctioned oil tanks into Venezuela. This move comes after U.S. forces seized an oil tanker off of Venezuela's coast last week. President Trump alleges that Venezuela was using oil to fund drug trafficking. The administration has stopped short of saying it wants to remove Maduro from power. Now, Congress is questioning what the next move is going to be.
Yeah, 15% of the Navy pointed at this guy. If he's still standing when this is over, this is a fatal, major mistake to our standing in the world.
There's nothing there that the American public should not be able to see other than the possibility of accountability.
Many lawmakers are weary of entering into a war with Venezuela and disapprove of how things have gone so far. More lawmakers were shown classified video of that operation on Wednesday, and calls are now growing louder for the Pentagon to release it to everyone. In the meantime, U.S. negotiators say progress is being made in Ukraine peace talks, with President Zelensky dropping his push to join NATO for Western security guarantees. But a previous version of this plan would have required Ukraine to give up land not currently under Russian control, and that is a non-starter apparently for Zelensky. The president of the European Commission is urging her counterparts to fund Ukraine by using frozen Russian assets.
The reality of this world means we Europeans must defend ourselves, and we must depend on ourselves. Yesterday's peace is gone. We have no time to indulge in nostalgia. What matters is how we confront today. We cannot afford to let the world views of others define us.
EU leaders are expected to decide on funding tomorrow when they meet in Brussels. Let's take another live look outside for you and head over to Caitlin to get the latest on the forecast. Caitlin.
It's beautiful.
It looks nice out there. Mild, right?
Mild and sunny, so you've got the best of both worlds. Temperatures are flirting with 40 right now in Chicago. At the lakefront, it's 41, but inland O'Hare is what I'm talking about, 39 there. So a good mix of the 30s and low 40s currently at this lunchtime hour. It's 37 degrees in Aurora, 34 in DeKalb, and 39, as mentioned, from O'Hare, all the way to 36 in Morris. Northwest Indiana, you are in the 40s. Low to mid 40s right now. It feels so nice. It's calm, quiet. Enjoy this because we have building clouds and then the chance for rain tomorrow with dropping temperatures. So here's a look at our day. Again, through the rest of the afternoon, we're going to be seeing highs in the low 40s for many of us. As we move on into this evening, 7 p.m., we're dropping back down to the 30s already. Clouds will start to thicken up, and then as we move into tomorrow, chance for rain is back. Scattered showers, especially early. Temperature-wise, though, very mild. We're starting off Thursday, 7 a.m. with temperatures in the mid-40s. Temperatures are going to be increasing after midnight tonight. We're going to see that rise for the first part of the day tomorrow before colder air drifts in. You kind of saw that line there from green to blue now as we work our way through your Thursday afternoon. So when we should be at our peak temperature tomorrow, we're actually going to be colder in the upper 30s. So we have colder air drifting in behind a cold front that's bringing us that wet weather. And as those 30s return, we could actually see a few snowflakes out there tomorrow evening. We don't expect much for accumulation, but don't be surprised if you see some light snow, perhaps up to a dusting out there. Temperatures are going to continue to drop down into the teens Thursday night into early Friday. And then Friday's going to be a cold day. Highs back to the mid and upper 20s. But it is going to be a beautiful day. So we're taking that hit with temperatures Friday, but Saturday back to the 40s. So our futurecast through the rest of the day today, I encourage you to get outside, enjoy this before the wet weather slides on through Chicagoland starting early tomorrow. Sylvia.
Thank you, Caitlin. As winter sets in, one local organization is working to make sure children across Chicago stay warm. Coming up, how you can help Cradles to Crayons gear up for the winter. Okay. Yeah. As temperatures drop, thousands of children are still facing winter without some basic essentials, and that is why Cradles to Crayons is stepping in with its Gear Up for Winter initiative, providing coats and boots to those who need it the most. And joining us now is Director of Partnership and Engagement, Janine Thomas, to talk more about this initiative. Welcome. Nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
We have had you guys on many times. Such a great organization. But explain to those at home who may not know what it is. What is Cradles to Crayons?
So Cradles to Crayons is a national nonprofit. We were founded back in 2002. And our mission is to provide children living in homeless and low-income situations with the essentials that they need. So clothing, shoes, hygiene products, and winter coats. And we do this by collecting new and gently used items from the public. We bring that back to our warehouse where we mobilize thousands of volunteers that help us to quality check, sort, and package up those donations to go back out to our network of service partners. And from there, children get access to those products free of charge.
Okay, so we're talking, because we're looking at some video now of some of those donations. What age group? Do you want all sizes? Explain what people can do to help out.
Absolutely. We accept clothing and shoes of all sizes. Children come in all shapes and sizes. We do, for winter, need infant and toddler sizes the most. Those tend to fly off our shelves quickly.
Wow. So let's talk about how bad the need is right now. If you can, give me an example of maybe one particular story that you can remember about dealing with somebody who might have needed some clothing. Have you been there when these donations are made or when people actually pick them up? I kind of want you to personalize this for my viewers so they can realize just how crucial and important this is.
Yeah, I actually have been able to attend a distribution event with one of our service partners where they actually set up a clothing closet in the basement of the location that we were volunteering at that day. And they allowed families to come in, and it was a freezing cold day. And there was a family with a newborn baby with them that came out in the cold, took their baby out with them just so that they can come and get free coats and additional winter supplies.
They must be so grateful to know that that's there, no questions asked, whatever you need.
Absolutely. We do not require families or our service partners to prove anything to us. We let them come in and shop with dignity. That's actually a huge piece of what we believe in, is that quality equals dignity.
So how do people go about making these donations?
So we try to make it as easy as possible. We have over 60 drop-off locations throughout Chicago and Chicagoland area. Actually, on our website, you can pop in your address and it'll give you a list of nearby locations.
Oh, good.
We have a door-to-door program. Individuals can sign up to have product picked up right from their doorstep. And then we're over in North Center, and we allow people to come drop off donations Monday through Saturday, actually.
But to make it even easier, if they can't make it by actually donating a coat, they can go online. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. You can head over to our website. Just $15 actually helps us to buy a brand new coat for a child. So if you cannot get to one of our locations, we are always accepting monetary donations.
So that's a beautiful thing. Just $15 is going to make a difference in a child's life.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. And obviously, if you can give more, that's even better.
Absolutely. Our inventory is so low right now, and those requests are still coming in each week from service partners. So whatever folks can give, we would gladly appreciate it.
Have you had to turn people away?
We have had to turn service partners away, yes. We actually just opened up our wait list where we've had over 100 agencies interested in seeking out product from us for the families that we are serving. So we have, over the past years, had to turn away service partners, but we're happy that we're in a position now, thanks to all the donations that we get from the public, that we're able to open that wait list and onboard new service partners.
Okay, so you have a wait list. So explain how that works. When you say service partners, people are not necessarily coming to you directly. You're helping other organizations. Tell me about that.
Correct. We have a network of over 60 service partners. We're hoping to increase those numbers by opening up this wait list.
An example, like who would that be?
Yeah, so like YMCA, Chicago Public Schools. We work with faith-based institutions as well as local and community hospitals.
So if you could wrap this up and kind of sum it up for people at home, just to remind us, especially during this season of giving, these coats are really needed beyond this. What do you want people to know about what difference they really can make by supporting your cause?
The one thing I really want people to know is that through our model is such a sustainable way to support families. You don't actually have to spend money. Clean out your closets. I know I'm guilty of this. I have so many things at home. Well, not so much now that I work for Cradles to Crayons, but I used to have so many things at home that I didn't touch. So just know that even if you don't have a lot, you can clean out your closet, donate what you have, come out and volunteer with us. We can't do what we do without our volunteers. So even if it's just your time that you can give, the children in Chicago really deserve to have a safe and warm winter.
And it's so easy, so many ways to help out. Thanks for coming in. I love what you guys do. Keep up the good work.
Thank
you.
You.
This is a great thing. We'll be right back. A handful of Republicans are defying the Speaker of the House agreeing to back a Democratic push to extend Obamacare subsidies for 3 years. This will force a House vote. Right now, the subsidies are set to expire on December 31st, forcing premiums to skyrocket for millions of Americans in the new year. And back here at home, an alternative plan to Mayor Johnson's proposed budget is coming to the Budget Committee today. There are only 2 weeks left for council members to hammer out this deal, or Chicago could face its first citywide shutdown in its history. Paris, of course, has been covering this story very closely for us. He joins us now to break this all down so you understand what exactly is going on. So let's talk about today. So this is an alternative plan that is being presented to the Budget Committee because they did not agree with what the mayor was saying. So what's the difference between this plan and the mayor's plan? What's the key here?
The big difference from the beginning has been that this alternative proposal and these oppositional aldermen are against the mayor's corporate head tax proposal, which has been revised. But the way it is now is the mayor wants a $33 per head tax on companies with more than 500 employees. The opposition aldermen have said this is going to kill jobs. We don't want this, so they crafted their own budget. After lots of negotiations, after lots of ideas that made it and then got cut out, they passed it yesterday in the Finance Committee. Now, the way this works is they have to go before the Budget Committee and get this passed today. Since they had the votes yesterday, it is expected that they have the votes today to pass. And then it would go before the full City Council committee, the full City Council to pass. Now, if Mayor Johnson still is opposed, then they need 34 aldermen to override his veto. And they are meeting as we speak. The mayor was going to have a media availability right around 1. They canceled it because they're in meetings and negotiations, hammering out perhaps a unified agreement here.
Now, he has made some comments that they actually, this new alternative includes some of the things that he wanted in the first place and that they're giving into that. But one of the things that has been brought up is that the city would sell outstanding debt to raise nearly $90 million, right? So the city controller apparently against this. How exactly does that work? What does that mean?
Well, and the thing that the alders bring up is there's $8 billion owed to the city. So this is for parking tickets, scofflaws, whatever it is that people haven't paid. And so, you know, that debt just kind of sits there. So these alders are proposing kind of like when you're, you know, other debt collectors, they sell the debt to the collection agency, and the collection agency comes after you with all the phone calls and the text messages. So they're saying, well, why don't we do this with the city? Since if people haven't paid their tickets in years, we're gonna sell this debt to the collectors. The collectors are gonna come after them. So the alders say this is a way to raise money that is already owed to the city in the first place. But the mayor and his supporters say, well, this is going to ding, again, working people or perhaps poor people that can't afford it. They're going to have collectors now calling them all day long, you know, finding ways to get these payments. So this is a hang-up right now. And this is in lieu of the corporate head tax. So the alders are saying, we're going to get money from this instead of taxing corporations.
Okay, let's talk about the breakdown of what this would include. I thought this was kind of interesting. In this plan, some of the things would include raising the plastic bag shopping tax from 10 cents to 15. Boy, that one keeps going up, doesn't it? And it also includes a pilot program to place advertising on bridge houses and light poles. These are just some of the things. Again, it seems
and this is kind of like nipping at the problem here. You have a $1.15 billion deficit, and we're talking about $10 million in some of these things. But I guess it's low-hanging fruit that these alders say, well, we can sell ad space on the bridge houses. You know, those structures on the bridges. You know, do we want to walk around looking at ads on those beautiful structures? I don't know. That's a debate for Chicagoans. But then on light poles, they're saying, well, we can get advertising money from that. But, you know, the other thing is a lot of the mayor's wish list is already in the alternative proposal. There's some other taxes, like the cloud computing tax, that's kind of unpopular with business. That's still in there. So either they're going to have a deal, or these alders believe they have a veto-proof majority to pass their alternative plan, and there will be no city government shutdown. Fingers crossed if they get this done.
So wait and see. Today's meeting will be interesting, and I know you're covering that, watching that closely. So come back and let's talk about
and there's also the video gambling part of it, putting
that's right.
You know, gaming machines in restaurants and bars. That's something we're going to dig into a little bit too.
Good. We'll talk more about that. Thanks so much, Paris. Appreciate it. Let's head over to Caitlin now to get a check of the forecast. Caitlin, look how pretty that shot is.
I was literally going to say the same thing.
Right? Isn't that gorgeous?
It's so bright blue. Look at the water. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so it is lovely looking, and it feels good too. Temperatures back to the 40s today, but enjoy the sunny skies that you just saw because the clouds move in and the chance for rain is back on your Thursday. Temperatures will be dropping big time on Thursday, starting off in the 40s, but then in the afternoon we're in the 30s, and we have the chance actually for a little bit of light snow Thursday evening, and then temperatures drop down to the teens Thursday night and early Friday, and Friday the 20s, but we have a quiet and more mild weekend ahead to get those last-minute Christmas details done. Satellite and radar behind me, you can see that we do have clearing. We had a few clouds this morning, but now it's just beautiful out there. Radar is quiet. You can enjoy a nice walk perhaps outside. Yesterday it was mild. We hit 40. Well, we are 5 degrees warmer right now than yesterday was at this time at O'Hare. An 8-degree temperature jump at the lakefront, 10 degrees warmer in Merrillville, 9 degrees warmer in Valpo, and that's leaving us around 40 degrees throughout Chicagoland. Right now it's 39 at O'Hare and 42 at the lakefront, 37 in Waukegan, 45 in Gary, and 38 from LaSalle to 37 in Morris. So we all feel nice and mild. Through the rest of the day, it is going to be relatively quiet. Temperatures back down to the mid and upper 30s by 7, and then overnight tonight, the clouds thicken up, and here comes that rain. So tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., we do have some scattered showers out there, and actually later in the morning, we could have some moderate rainfall. This is 11:30, so most of the wet stuff is going to be the first half of the day tomorrow, but the temperatures still feel good, upper 40s at 11:30. Watch what happens As we work our way into the afternoon, 4:45, we're down to the 30s. We have a little bit of snow possible, flakes here or there. We're not going to have accumulation, perhaps up to a dusting in a few spots. And then the temperatures continue to drop back down to the teens to start off your Friday. Friday afternoon, back to the mid and upper 20s. And we are going to have sunshine, but my goodness, it's going to be cold. 7-day forecast. What about this weekend? I mentioned how it is going to be mild. 43 degrees is our high Saturday, Sunday right around 34. And then we start off next week with the upper 30s on Monday, Tuesday, right around 45. So a mild day today, tomorrow, some wet weather, dropping temperatures, a little bit gusty, and then a cold Friday ahead. Sylvia.
All right, thanks for that, Caitlin. Well, the CDC is officially ending its long-standing recommendation that all newborns get the hepatitis B vaccine. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s vaccine advisory panel says the dose at birth should only be given to newborns whose mothers have tested positive for hepatitis B. If parents choose not to vaccinate at birth but decide they still want to do so later, the agency recommends waiting at least 2 months to get the first dose. In a statement, acting director of the CDC and Deputy Health Secretary Jim O'Neill says the change is about restoring the balance of informed consent to parents whose newborns face little risk of contracting hepatitis B. Here in Illinois, the state's Vaccine Advisory Committee voted unanimously to continue giving all healthy newborns the shot, putting Illinois at odds with federal health officials. The Food and Drug Administration is warning major retailers such as Walmart, Target, Albertsons, and Kroger to pull all remaining recalled baby formula from store shelves. The product was recalled for its link to a nationwide botulism outbreak that's left more than 50 infants sick. Retailers have 15 days to comply or face legal action. Time to check your freezer. A popular ice cream brand is pulling one of its products from store shelves. There are concerns that it may contain small stones. So Delicious is recalling pints of its dairy-free salted caramel cluster ice cream. The recalled pints are marked with Best Buy expiration dates before August 8th of 2027. People with the recalled ice cream should contact the company for a full refund. It is 12:37, Fox 32 News at noon. We'll be right back.
Imagine.
Louvre workers are heading to the picket line after months of mounting pressure following that jewel heist at the museum. The iconic museum closed to the public today as workers demand urgent renovations and staffing increases. They're also citing a security breach which saw thieves pull off a heist in just 7 minutes, getting away with $102 million worth of jewels. 4 men have been arrested in that theft. PayPal is applying for a U.S. banking license. The move would let PayPal expand small business lending and offer FDIC-insured deposits. For consumers and small businesses, this could mean easier access to credit. Another wrinkle in a blockbuster deal, Warner Brothers is telling shareholders to reject Paramount's bid to purchase the company and support its deal with Netflix. Warner says the merger with Netflix is better for customers. However, it does not mean that shareholders will follow the advice. Any merger would have to be approved by the federal government and by European regulators. Our noon show will be wrapping up in just about 20 minutes, but Chicago Live is just getting started, and Anita standing by with a look at what's ahead. Hi, Anita.
Hi, Sylvia. Yeah, we have a lot of ground to cover here for Chicago Live today. Yeah, several big stories that we are going to continue to dive deeper into today. Illinois' Safe Gun Storage Act goes into effect January 1st. I'm going to be talking with a gun law attorney about the gun owners, what gun owners need to know about the law. Also, I'm excited to talk to the regional director for Chase about the 2-story flagship JP Morgan Financial Center that's going to be opening on the Mag Mile that they just announced. A lot of folks are talking about that, buzzing about what's happening with the Mag Mile. We're getting the other side of the argument surrounding independently operated video gambling terminal licenses in Chicago. Yesterday, we had the president of the Illinois Restaurant Association on. He told me that they would help business owners in our area. But this morning, Bally's Corporation sent out a notice warning against reliance on video gambling terminals in Chicago City budget proposal. So we're going to kind of hear their perspective on this as they continue to go back and forth on that. And maybe the most emotional conversation of all is going to be right off the top of our broadcast. We have 2 survivors of that Bondi Beach attack in Australia. I am mentally preparing myself for that now. We want everyone to tune in and hear their survival story. It all begins at 1 online, Sylvia.
All right, we'll be looking forward to watching that. Thanks so much, Anita. Are you looking for a place to ring in the new year but still be home early? Coming up, our friend Chef Steve Chiappetti is joining us live in our studio with his annual Italian-style celebration at the Albert. It's a fun one. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's 12:46. If you want to celebrate New Year's Eve in style, but you don't want to wait until midnight to do that, have we got the perfect plan for you. Head over to the Albert at the Hotel EMC Squared. Is that right?
That is correct.
I got it right. Okay. And that is where Chef Steve Chiappetti is hosting New Year's Eve Italian style. And guess what? The big Prosecco countdown starts at 5 p.m. and you can be home and in bed by 9 if you want.
Yes, you can.
Right? Chef Chiappetti joining us out and tell us all about it. I have to say, this is the third year that you guys have done this. I think I've done it 2 years, actually.
Correct.
And I loved it because I was working on the early morning shift, and I could be home and still celebrate. So tell everybody how this works.
You know, the exciting part is that it's great because in Italy, 5 o'clock here is midnight in Sicily. So that's what we're really celebrating, my heritage, the Calabrian Sicilian way of lifestyle. So that's what we're going to do. And what's better way than in Chicago at 5 p.m.
I love it.
And it's midnight there.
So the fun starts from 3, it goes till 7. You have
Correct.
your Prosecco countdown at 5 o'clock.
Correct. 1,000 pounds of grapes, everything. So that way.
So explain the grapes.
Well, grapes are more of like a Mediterranean, but it's a tradition where you actually choose 12 grapes, one for each month, and then you make wishes. And you're supposed to
pop them in your mouth and make a wish with each one.
You're supposed to actually do them all before 1 minute.
Oh, I thought you were going to say all at once.
No, so you're supposed to do it all before 1 minute.
Oh, that's right. You only have
There's some crazy traditions in there.
Yeah,
it's like wearing red underwear.
I
mean,
love it.
you're supposed to wear red underwear for good luck and fortune on New Year's. So I don't know.
Do you do that?
I'm not going to check the TV. I don't know. I'm not going to say that. It could be. I'm sure people will be doing it, but it's great.
But besides grapes, I mean, the food is incredible.
Seafood.
You just brought a little example. Tell us about this.
Yes. So actually at this, what we do is you're able to graze around the dining room. We actually have stations where we're actually making all the pastas right in front of you, the risotto, the orchietti or the shrimp, the garlic shrimp. We have antipasti stations.
Stunning.
So, it actually becomes very interactive. And then you just drink Prosecco for those hours, and you wait up to that special moment, and then you be with this person you love, right?
I love it. That's perfect. And then we've got to zoom on over here to this tiramisu because this is incredible.
I love tiramisu.
Okay, tell us about this.
Well, everybody's like, I was going to make actually tiramisu. The big thing about tiramisu that everybody makes at home, you get the biscuits that you can go. Yeah, absolutely. So, you can get the biscuits, the Italian lady fingers, soak them in a little bit of coffee, marsala. If you don't have that, I love this whole thing about like Kettle One espresso, the espresso martinis, and soaking my biscuits in that.
Oh, I like that.
If you don't have biscuits, another way you can do it is you could actually take stale bread. You don't have to actually have the biscuits, so you can use sourdough bread. I toast it, in fact, in the oven, let it dry out, and then I make that with my tiramisu, let it soak in the same exact way. This is
delicious, you guys.
Mascarpone, a little bit of egg, mascarpone, and egg whites beaten up, folded in. You can do it different ways.
Yeah, I like that. That's beautiful.
This is the classic, simple, done in a bowl. We'll actually be making this in the room. Maribel is actually going to be in the room making the tiramisu cake in front of everybody, how to make it. And then there's other versions. I mean, for me, you could do chocolate version. This is a chocolate espresso version. So, to do this is very flexible. Put pistachio. I love nuts. I love different things.
Oh, I didn't realize pistachio was...
You can do it. You be branch out.
I like
it's not, don't have to stay confined to one way, right?
I love it. You have the different ones. And is this another version of it?
No, these are actually that's just a chocolate cake. But actually, yes, the tiramisu will be made there.
Very, very, very good. Okay, so tickets are on sale now.
Correct.
As we look at a beautiful shot, because this is where it is.
It'll be right there, right in the room.
It's so pretty. How much are tickets? And advice that you might have. I mean, I'm assuming more and more people really kind of want to celebrate early. So
I think
they're going pretty well.
They're going very well. We've actually keep growing this into different rooms because of
there's a demand.
There is. I think it's been great that people want to come out early. I think that people don't want to be out as late, and celebrate. They'd rather be home that time. So this actually feeds into that crowd. And if not, you could always go to the roof if you want to stand up.
If you want to continue. So
you can continue to other property and go to the roof.
I was going to say,
on top of the wit. We have tickets there as well. So it's $55 for 4 hours.
Which is a great price, Chef.
Great price. And you get to go there and try all this food, the desserts. But then if you want to, you can go over to the wit as well and go to the roof, and there's another whole party that goes to one night.
Twofer. You can either do this party by itself, or you can do this party and then go to another party.
And then continue the other party. So
I got to tell you, the tiramisu alone is definitely worth it, Chef. Happy New Year! I always
Happy
love
New Year! Thank you so much.
Fun.
It's been a great year.
I might see you again this year.
Well, I hope so.
Because I've been there the last 2 years.
I hope so. Hopefully you had a good time.
Yeah, this was awesome. Great
Thank you.
We'll
good
be
to see
right
you.
Back. While I finish my tiramisu. You don't have to be a Christmas caroler to sing your favorite holiday tunes. The Music Box Theater's annual sing-along is back, so we sent Jake to check it out for us.
That's right, guys. So many families around Chicago have their favorite Christmas tradition, whether it's Christkindl Market or maybe going to see Christmas Carol at the Goodman Theater. But for movie fans of multiple generations, they come right here to the Music Box Theater because it's that time of year, the 42nd annual Christmas sing-along epic double feature. Take a look at the screen behind me. One of two movies that you can see. That's the Frank Capra classic, 1946. It's a Wonderful Life, of course, starring Jimmy Stewart. We're here with the owner, Brody Shull. And Brody, first of all, what a beautiful screen, what a beautiful projection. It just looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
Thank you. Yes, it does.
Now, this is something that's been going on since the 80s for more than 40 years. For people who've never come out to this double feature before, what can they expect?
Well, two movies, It's a Wonderful Life and then also White Christmas. They could also expect a bonanza of holiday cheer, decorations, people in Christmas costumes, popcorn, mulled wine, hot chocolate, caroling. The organist Dennis Scott, along with Santa, singing live Christmas carols.
It's a whole vibe, which is that you said earlier, which is so true. And something I didn't expect, whenever you watch the movie on the big screen, it's not just a bunch of people coming and being quiet and sitting down in a controlled environment. It's fun. It's interactive, not to a distracting degree, but I kind of compare it to like a Rocky Horror Picture Show where people are interacting with the characters on the screen.
Absolutely. When Mr. Potter comes on the screen, the audience hisses. There's also bells when the angel gives the wings.
Now, you guys have picked the two perfect movies for this double feature, White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life. But you guys also do something really cool, which is kind of programmed throughout the month of December. Shall we call them maybe a little bit more unconventional Christmas movies? Case in point, you guys have two screenings happening a little bit later today, one of which is sold out. And what movie is that?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut, which I've always said is very much a Christmas movie, yes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And last night you guys did which two Christmas movies?
Gremlins and Muppets Christmas Carol.
See, I love that. So you can have a little bit of everything. You can have the Frank Capra, Jimmy Stewart classic if you want to. But if you want to shake things up, if you want Muppets, if you want Gremlins, if you want Tom Cruise going to some wild and crazy parties, you can have that as well. Brody, thank you so much for having us. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you for having us. Guys, if you haven't come out here, you got to check out the double feature, the sing-along. As she said, it is a whole vibe. On that note, an angel's getting its wings as we toss it back to you guys in the studio.
Very cool. Thank you, Jake. Caitlin's going to have a final check of the forecast coming up.
Are you
Checking in on the forecast today, temperatures feel good, low 40s. We have sunshine.